Deanna Maurice, weekly craft and lifestyle content. Hey guys, it's Deanna Maurice here. Thank you so much for clicking in to watch another video with me. Today I will be sharing with you all how I created this beautiful hat using Dollar Tree products, as well as how I created a SVG file on a curve and the application of the iron-on that I used to adhere the image. Now the first thing that I did was I typed my daughter's name up and I enlarged the font a bit, and then I went ahead and clicked on the warp text tool, and then I created the bend to be -48. Now I do have an image here of a floppy hat that I pulled from Google, and this is just a reference for me so that I can get the text laid out the way that I would like it to look on the end product. Go ahead and pick the font that you would like, mess around with it, change, the differences in between each letter, so on and so forth. And once you're happy with it, we can move on to the next step. Now the next step is to go ahead and type up all the names if you're creating multiples, and we're going to create 2 layers of the same thing. So basically duplicate your layer with the names. Now you're going to add a stroke onto one of your layers and change the color so that you can see the difference. What we're doing here is creating 2 different images to be uploaded to Cricut Design Space. One is going to be your background, which is thicker, and one is going to be your front image, which is going to create that layered effect that we're going for today. Here I'm just messing around with the spacing in between each name because I want to waste the least amount of vinyl possible. So then go ahead and upload it as a PNG. Make sure your background is cleared. If you guys want a more in-depth tutorial on this, I will go ahead and link it in the description box, as well as leave it in the cards above. Once you upload it to Cricut Design Space, there you have it, your SVG is completed. Once everything is uploaded into Design Space, you're going to select both of the images to be applied to your mat. Once it has done so, both images are going to come up as black. What you want to do is change your background image to a bright color so that you can see the difference, and keep one of them black, or whichever colors that you want, but just so that you can see them separately apart. Now we're going to push our back image to the back, and we're going to keep our top layer on top. We're going to group them so that they now move as one, and we are going to adjust the size so that it will fit on the mat that we're using, or to the correct size for the project that you are creating. Once that has happened, you want to make sure that you click the mirror button on the left hand of the screen so that your image will reverse, because for the iron-on, it's going to cut on the reverse, because you're then going to flip it over and iron it down. So what you see me weeding here, this is the portion that's actually going to be applied to the project. So at this point, I'm just weeding out the little pieces that I will not need, and then I cut the names down to size. So I like to work on my projects in portions if possible. So like how these are all separate names, I cut it down to the smallest portion size that I possibly can, and then I use my weeding tool to then go ahead and pick out the pieces that I no longer need. Once I get one little corner of it up, I then use my hand to kind of gently pull it off. And this here is the Cricut foil iron off, and it glides off really nicely. It's pretty easy to work with. And then there you have it. This is the background image, and then I'm going to repeat the same step with my black Caesar Easy Weed iron-on vinyl, and this is what it turns out looking like. Hey guys, just a quick reminder to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Also, you can turn on the notification bell if you want to be notified each and every time I upload. At this point, I'm just going to cut off a bit of the transfer tape just to make sure that my image can lay nice and flat and flush along the curved edge of the hat. Now it's time to iron it on, and I don't have a Cricut Easy Press, so I do just use my regular iron that I have at home, and I do use some fabric on top of it just to kind of protect it initially. And this is just the ironing game here. Now I iron it for about 30 seconds, check it to see if it's adhered. If not, I then go in and iron it a little bit more. So at this point, I just kind of went back and forth with ironing it and checking it to see. Now with these hats, because they are textured, your iron on is going to have a texture appearance to it. Now I'm going ahead and putting on my top layer, and this is, like I said before, the Caesar Easy Weed. And then I'm going to repeat the same steps. Just use my iron and press it down. Once I feel that it's nice and in place, I then go ahead and peel the protective layer off. And then this is going to be my final step, which is then going ahead and just going over it again, once again with the iron, to make sure that everything is nice and in place and it isn't going to go anywhere. I did create these hats for my daughter's 5th birthday, and they were a hit. All of the little girls love them. And so if you're wondering why you're seeing different names all over the place, that is the reason why, because I made quite a few of them. But the process is all the same. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed my video. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe. It truly makes my day each and every time I see someone subscribe. And I just want to let you guys know to stay blessed and remember to always have good vibes. And until next time, it's Deanna saying goodbye.